Kevin Garnett wasn't just great. He shifted the culture. He entered the league straight from high school, brought intensity to a quiet Minnesota franchise, and later became the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics resurrection. But KG wasn't just a stats guy. He was a presence, a mentality, a movement. Let's break down exactly how good Kevin Garnett was and why his impact still echoes through the league. In 1995, Kevin Garnett made history. He became the first player in 20 years to jump from high school straight to the NBA, paving the way for Kobe, LeBron, T-Mac, Dwight Howard, and more. But it wasn't easy. Teams were skeptical. Scouts questioned his maturity. He had no blueprint. KG once said, "I had to show him I belonged. From day one, I wasn't just trying to survive, I was trying to dominate." At Farragut Academy, KG averaged 25 points, 18 rebounds, and 7 blocks per game. He was named USA Today National Player of the Year and starred in the McDonald's All-American game. He didn't just make it from high school, he opened the floodgates. Drafted 5th overall by the Minnesota Timberwolves, KG quickly proved he belonged. By year 2, he was an all-star. But the real buzz came when he teamed up with Stephon Marbury, his childhood friend from AAU ball. They were supposed to be the next Shaq and Penny, but money got in the way. KG said of the split, "I thought we were going to run the league together. But egos, contracts, it hurt me when he left." Despite Marbury's exit, KG stayed loyal, spending 12 seasons in Minnesota. In 2004, he had one of the greatest MVP seasons ever, 24.2 points, 13.9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2.2 blocks, and 1.5 steals per game. He carried the Wolves to the Western Conference Finals. No excuses, no super teams, just work. The split with Marbury didn't just end a friendship, it changed the course of KG's prime years. The Timberwolves believed they had a duo that could dominate the West. But when Marbury felt disrespected over his contract and left, it created a fracture in Garnett's view of loyalty. KG later said, "When Marbury left, a piece of me left too. I never played the same way again for years." Behind the scenes, Garnett also grew frustrated with the Timberwolves front office. The team consistently failed to build a championship-caliber roster around him. There were missteps in the draft, coaching changes, and questionable trades. Garnett bore the brunt of the team's shortcomings while continuing to post all-NBA numbers. He was fiercely loyal to the city, but that loyalty was often not reciprocated by management. In interviews, KG has alluded to the lack of vision and commitment from ownership as a reason why the Wolves couldn't break through. That tension would linger for years, especially after his retirement, when Garnett expressed disappointment that the team didn't retire his jersey sooner or bring him into ownership like he hoped. Former Timberwolves head coach Flip Saunders once remarked, "KG wanted to win more than anything. When he saw the front office wasn't doing enough, he internalized it. He never complained publicly, but he took it personally." Teammates have echoed similar sentiments. While Zerbiak recalled, KG gave his soul to Minnesota. It's a shame they didn't surround him with the talent he deserved. Even opposing players recognized the sacrifice Garnett made. Shaquille O'Neal once said, "KG in another system, he would have had multiple rings. But he stayed loyal. That's rare." How did Garnett stack up against other legendary power forwards? Compared to Tim Duncan, KG was a more versatile defender and a better passer. Duncan had the rings, but Garnett's fire and two-way impact made the debate closer than many admit. Karl Malone was the better scorer, but KG's defensive dominance gave him the edge in overall impact. Compared to Dirk Nowitzki, KG was the better all-around player. Dirk was the shooter, but KG was the soul of his teams. Garnett's defensive box plus-minus, plus 3.4, ranks among the highest ever for a big man. He also ranks in the top 20 all-time for win shares, VORP, and defensive rating. Few power forwards combine stats, leadership, and versatility like KG. The fallout with Ray Allen wasn't just about a player leaving. It was about trust being broken. When Allen chose to sign with the rival Miami Heat in 2012, it blindsided Garnett. The two hadn't spoken much during Allen's final season in Boston, and tensions boiled over. Garnett famously said, "I don't have Ray's number anymore." And when asked about Allen on the court the following season, he literally turned his back on him during warm-ups. Udonis Haslem, a longtime Miami Heat enforcer, said, "KG didn't hide how he felt. Every time we played Boston, it was war. Ray told us, that man don't speak to me no more." The Heat-Celtics rivalry became one of the fiercest in the early 2010s. Garnett and Pierce embodied the old guard, gritty, defensive-minded, and team-first, while LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh represented the new wave of superstar mobility and super teams. Garnett viewed it as a betrayal of the game's core values. "We built ours. We didn't jump ship. We stayed in the fight," he once said. Those playoff series were battles. In 2011 and 2012, the Celtics and Heat clashed repeatedly. In the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals, Boston came within one game of the finals before LeBron dropped a historic 45-point game in Game 6. Garnett and LeBron rarely spoke, but their rivalry was filled with mutual, grudging respect. LeBron later reflected, "KG pushed me. When you went through Boston, you felt every screen, every stare. He brought the fight every time." Despite the bitterness, Ray Allen and Garnett eventually reunited at the 2022 Celtics jersey retirement celebration. The handshake was brief, but symbolic. Time had healed some wounds, but the fire Garnett carried never truly faded. In 2007, Garnett joined the Boston Celtics, forming the Big Three with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. But Garnett was the engine, the voice, the tone setter. Paul Pierce once said, "KG brought something Boston hadn't felt in years: accountability." Doc Rivers recalled, "From the first practice, KG made it clear we were chasing a title and nothing less." In 2008, the Celtics won the NBA championship. KG also earned Defensive Player of the Year and redefined Boston's identity. But not all was perfect. Ray Allen left for the rival Miami Heat in 2012, a move that deeply offended Garnett. KG famously said, "You don't leave your brothers in war. You just don't." Even years later, the tension lingered until a reunion at the Celtics jersey retirement ceremony. Rajon Rondo, the Celtics floor general, credited Garnett for establishing the team's identity. KG set the tone in every film session, every drill. He was the standard. If you weren't on his level, he made sure you got there. Even Ray Allen, years after their feud, admitted KG's passion was unmatched. That locker room ran on his energy, love it or hate it. Coach Doc Rivers often cited Garnett as the most impactful player he ever coached. KG made you coach harder, made teammates play harder. He elevated everyone in the building. Garnett's leadership wasn't always pretty, but it was real. He demanded everything from his teammates because he gave everything himself. Glenn Big Baby Davis once said, "KG would scream at you, but then teach you. He made us better, period." After Boston, Garnett returned to Minnesota to mentor Karl Anthony Towns, just like he once mentored Dwight Howard and Al Jefferson. Quietly, he passed the torch. Garnett's resume speaks for itself: 15-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA, 12-time All-Defensive, 2004 MVP, 2008 champion, 2008 Defensive Player of the Year, over 26,000 points, 14,600 rebounds, and 5,400 assists. Few players in NBA history influence both ends of the floor like KG. Perhaps KG's biggest legacy isn't found in trophies, it's found in the doors he opened. His leap from high school changed the system. After KG came Kobe, then T-Mac, then LeBron, Dwight, Amare. He was the trailblazer who proved high school players could thrive immediately in the pros. LeBron once said, "KG made it possible for guys like me. He showed it could be done." The NBA eventually raised the entry age, But Garnett's impact on a generation is immortal. He proved readiness is about work ethic, not age. Tracy McGrady spoke about Garnett's influence on his own decision to enter the draft out of high school. KG made it real. After him, it wasn't just a dream, it was possible. Even former Commissioner David Stern acknowledged the shift KG sparked. Kevin Garnett's success changed how we viewed youth development. He accelerated a movement in the NBA. So how good was Kevin Garnett? He was elite in every category. He redefined the power forward role. He opened the door for a generation. He played every game like it was his last. Whether you loved him or hated him, you respected Kevin Garnett. He was loud, he was loyal, and above all, he was legendary. Anything is possible. After retirement, Garnett didn't fade into the background. He evolved. He launched his own podcast, appeared regularly as a host on Area 21, and provided raw, unfiltered insight into the NBA and life. His charisma and storytelling made him a fan favorite off the court, just like he was on it. He's also mentored younger players, invested in sports media, and took on business ventures, all with the same intensity he brought to the hardwood. To this day, KG continues to influence culture, not just as a Hall of Famer, but as a personality, a mentor, and an unapologetic voice for the game.